mega milestone for Asia's oldest stock exchange as it completes 150 years since establishment. And the management hopes their growth trajectory will continue for another century. Ankur Mishra caught up with the MD and CEO Sundaraman Ramamurthy to discuss their future roadmap. Here's an excerpt of that chat.
In order to ensure that the market acts as a meaningful alternate mechanism and also provide investors the diversity that they are looking in for, we are looking to deepen and broaden the market. That will be our primary focus. What do we mean by deepening and broadening the market? We started with 0 brokers. Today we have 500. We want to go up to 800. If you're talking of 6 months, that will be part of this goal. We started with no data center, meaningful colocation racks. Today we are having around 300, at least we want to go to around 500 racks. In next 6 months we will add probably 100 more, and probably in the next 6 months further down we will have another 100 more, so that we come to the number of 500. Today from 0 FPAs we have 250 FPAs, we want to go into some meaningful number of 500 over a period of time. So like this we put metrics, that is in terms of deepening of the market, and in terms of broadening of the market. In terms of deepening of the market, today clearly every exchange can have only one weekly product.
Right.
In that weekly product, it is not important only the current week trades. If you look at Sensex, when it started, because there was no option other than to take Friday as the expiry day for us, we had most of the volumes happening on the expiry day. 85% and above was on expiry day. So it was an expiry day product. Thanks to the regulatory framework changes, today that is not the case. It's somewhere around 45% is what trades on expiry day. The volumes are well distributed across all the week, throughout all the days of the week.
Right.
Not only that, the trading has started commencing in the next week and next to next week as well, coming into monthly contracts. All the other contracts have become monthly contracts. We have a BankX index, which in our opinion is a wonderful index, which is a monthly product. We have to build that product. So more and more of further weeks down that lane being traded, more and more monthly contracts getting traded is the first important point that we need to achieve before we go for more products to come.
When we last discussed about the expiry day, there was an ambiguity whether or not BSE expiry will remain on Tuesday, which is the widely traded products. Now that Sebi's discussion paper has come, is that ambiguity gone now? It is completely out of the way that there will be no change in the trading days, because even the direction which has come from Sebi has clearly defined there will be only 2 days of expiry, Tuesday and Thursday. Is it a fair anticipation?
See, as you will recall, we started with Friday because we had no option. And when an option was given to choose a date, we chose Tuesday. And subsequently, there were some changes which necessitated this consultation paper. The consultation paper, the regulatory process in India is a co-created process, as I always say, with due consultation from the market participants. So clearly, market would have thought whatever it would have thought, and it would have given the feedback to the regulators. The last day was April 17th. It just went away. We are waiting for the Sebi directives. As far as what action BSE is planning to take, Tuesday is one of the days which the regulators have suggested. So we are already on Tuesday. So I am not sure whether we need to take any action. If at all any action that we need to take would depend upon whatever is the regulator's directive that will come out post the consultation paper being fully taken into consideration by the regulators. After due thought process, whatever decisions they make and they direct us, we will as always abide by their directions.
But in your intent, Tuesday is fine?
Because Tuesday is one of the days which is already stipulated in the consultative paper. We have no reason therefore to ask for anything different. That's what at least I feel, unless and until the market participants have directed something else to us through the consultation paper. So from our perspective, since our expiry day is already one of the stipulated days in the consultation paper, I'm not able to see specific action point from our side necessitated at this point of time.
I want to understand your pockets of growth. We have talked about one part. Which are the areas where you see the growth will be there for BSE in next few years?
It's a very good question again. See, what is the basic purpose of a stock exchange? The basic purpose of a stock exchange is, one, capital formation. It should aid capital formation. It should help in creation of liquidity. It should help in risk transfer. It should work for transparency. It should provide adequate safety mechanisms along with efficiency and speed. These are the starting points of all the requirements from a stock exchange perspective. So for us, therefore, we should be aiding and helping in the capital formation of the country. How we can do about it? It is just not the equity capital that we are today talking about. We are also talking about debt capital. So I look at it in these three areas. One is in respect of the equity capital main board. How are we going to become more efficient in helping all the people who are coming for listing? There, no, it is not necessary for you to go and tell people that you can list with us. They are main board people. Right. They have a lot of people working with them. They will advise. So most important, our action there is in aiding the capital formation is how you bring in efficiency, how you make ease of operations for them. So that is one area we are working on. In respect of non-main board, that is SME, you have 6 crore companies, and as you know, SMEs are very close to my heart because of their contribution to the economy. We hardly have 570 companies which are listed at BSE. That is not even scratching the tip of the iceberg. So what we need to have is, we need to have quality SMEs coming and listing with us. How do you identify what is quality? Thanks to all the regulatory recent changes that have come in place, there is a greater clarity on what the expectation of the regulators is, how to identify good companies, how to identify bad companies, how to augment the banking sector by providing the risk capital for SMEs from the equity sector, so that whatever working capital gets provided by the banks is meaningfully safe and also quality. So what we do it, we are today trying to sort of leverage on the technological advantage. On a sort of a test basis, already we are, as a pilot study, we have already incorporated a AA and LLM based system. What it basically does is, when a draft prospectus come to us, what typically gets done in 2 to 3 weeks, it looks at the draft prospectus to check on Sebi compliances, BSE specific compliances which we have put extra, and also then based on the past records to check for any weak points, like is there too many related party transactions, is there too much of change in the management, too much of change in the statutory auditors, is the funds are all being diverted under the name of working capital. All these type of checks, things which we have seen in the past, it tries to see and alert us. You know what? There is a paragraph which says this. It may be right, it may be wrong. It is up to you to check it. So that is the third part of it. Fourth part of it, it does a public domain analysis to see whether there are any enforcement director action on any of the people, whether there are any problems about the promoters in the MCA or about anybody involved in it, and all that stuff, and narrates to us. So this helps in making much more a meaningful analysis in a shorter period of time. This is an evolving process. Every one of the regulatory process, every one of the checking process, monitoring process is evolving. We have started this pilot. Once we become satisfied with that, we will be implementing it. That will help in aiding SMEs. Last but not the least is debt capital. It's very important that you provide service in the area of debt capital. Corporate bonds are active. We have to take it more to the public. We have to ensure that whatever warehousing of corporate bonds today happen in some pockets in India, where the brokers warehouse it and help in liquidity creation, what is the type of help we can provide as a stock exchange to deepen there is another important area of focus for us.
Right. One of the news which has been doing the rounds for a while has been the tariff impact, where you have seen the market volatility as well. I want to understand from your point of view, how do you see these events in terms of the business which BSE is in, because investors are involved, the trading is involved, volume is involved. There has been a lot of volatility due to it in past few months. What do you advise investors? That is the first part of question. Second, how does BSE look at these events?
Tariff changes are universal and they do have an impact on businesses. When a tariff change, things do not remain status quo. Many a times, many of us may analyze things presuming a status quo under tariff change. But when a tariff change or any change in the way pattern of trading changes, always markets start getting recalibrated. Recalibrations could be a challenge, right? And those challenges, no country including India will be away from those challenges. But there are inherent strengths for Indian markets. And our policy makers are strong, and our government is very strong, and they are much more capable than people like me sitting here in handling these type of recalibrations requirements, policy change requirements, and managing the situation. From an exchange perspective, what we give as advice to people has been consistent and constant. Trade what you understand and understand what you trade. Don't trade based on somebody else telling you that this is a good thing for you to do. If investors stick to that, market volatilities continue to happen, they will never make wrong decisions. That is the only advice we will be able to give.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.